All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into a truly hilarious tale from a small village. It's a story all about confidence, complete chaos, and some, let's just call it creative grooming. Get ready for the story of Rafiq's superstar hair salon. So let's just kick things off with a little question for you. Imagine this. You walk into a barber shop for a simple trim, nothing fancy. But the person holding the clippers, they've got grand ambitions that go way beyond just your hair. What do? Well, that is the exact spot we're about to find our hero in. So, let's meet the man of the hour. You could call him our protagonist, or maybe our antagonist. Really just depends on who you ask. His name is Rafiq, and believe me, his reputation precedes him. Now, this is what's so funny about the whole thing. The massive disconnect between how Rafiq saw himself and how, well, everyone else saw him. You see, in his own mind, Rafiq was a national treasure, a true artist. But to the rest of the village, he was basically a public menace with a pair of scissors. And this right here, this just says it all. It's like the village's unofficial public service announcement. His big, fancy, self-appointed sign had this very important little addition written in chalk, a warning that every single person had to think about before they dared to step inside. So, into this legendary danger zone walks a brave soul. Or maybe he's just a little naive, a man named Bilal. And he has one very, very simple goal in mind. He's not asking for the moon here. No fancy styles, no weird designs, just a normal, standard haircut. Bilal makes his request crystal clear, hoping he can dodge any of Rafiq's so-called creativity. Seems like a perfectly reasonable request, right? And this is Rafiq's response. Now, this was meant to be this amazing promise of a life-changing transformation, but instead, it lands with the weight of a serious threat. I mean, you have to admire the confidence, but the implication? Absolutely terrifying. And just like that, any sense of calm Bilal had is completely gone. Poof. That one single sentence instantly replaced any hope he had with this deep, sinking feeling of dread. But he's already in the chair, it's too late to run. Okay, so the haircut begins, and right away we discover Rafiq's one fatal flaw as a barber. This, my friends, is where the wheels completely fall off. See, the problem wasn't exactly that he couldn't hold scissors properly. No, the real issue is that Rafiq was a storyteller first and a barber a very, very distant second. He just loved the sound of his own voice so much that it totally overshadowed the actual, haircutting. So while he's snipping away, Rafiq starts proudly telling a story that should have been a massive red flag for Bilal. He's talking about how his last client literally fled the shop. To Rafiq, this is a hilarious little story. To Bilal, it's a terrifying preview of what's to come. In the middle of this story, Bilal chances a look in the mirror, and, oh boy, the horror starts to set in. One entire side of his head has been buzzed short, while the other side is still long and untouched. Rafiq's storytelling has created a total disaster on his scalp. So, does Rafiq panic? Does he apologize? Of course not. He just immediately invents a super professional-sounding name for his mistake. See, it's not a bad haircut, it's a modern design haircut. Because as he puts it, normal is just boring. The timing is just perfect. Just then, another villager, a guy named Aslam, walks in. He takes one look at the half-and-half modern design happening on Bilal's head, and when Rafiq offers him a cut, he pivots. Immediately. His sudden desperate need for shampoo is just a masterclass in quick thinking and self-preservation. But hold on, the journey isn't over yet. Rafiq still has to finish the job. So now we get to the grand reveal, the moment the final masterpiece is unveiled for the whole world to see. Bilal stares into the mirror, and his reaction is just pure, unfiltered shock. And his description? It's perfect. One side of his head is a barren wasteland. The other is a dense, overgrown jungle. I mean, the asymmetry is just breathtaking. And you gotta hand it to Rafiq, the marketing genius. He doesn't miss a beat. He simply rebrands the disaster. It's not just a modern design anymore, no. It has evolved into the much more sophisticated, creative styling. And the price for this one-of-a-kind, avant-garde work of art? A cool 500 rupees. And not for ruining his hair, Rafiq explains, but for his professional service. The audacity is just, it's really something else. And that brings us to the resolution. Defeated and 500 rupees poorer, Bilal leaves, but not before offering one final piece of career advice for our friend Rafiq. a suggestion that would go down in village history. And with that, Bilal delivers the perfect parting shot. It's not just a funny insult, it's actually really good business advice. I mean, if you're creating hairstyles that people need to hide immediately, selling them the solution just makes sense, right? And that's how the legend was truly born. Rafiq's superstar hair salon became less of a barbershop and more of a test of faith, a place where you didn't just hope for a good haircut, you actively prayed for survival. And all of this leaves us with one final question. After hearing this incredible story of supreme confidence and, let's say, questionable skill, you have to ask yourself, would you be brave enough to actually sit in that chair?